Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, where I'm apparently doing a marathon of Autobots who look like Decepticons. And this is the grand finale, because I only have two figures like that. But today we're going to be taking a look at Grindcore. Now, I believe this was a movie figure, though it is very clearly a reuse of a Cybertron mold. There were a lot of Cybertron molds that got repaints and slight retools in the movie line, and ended up being the best figures, actually. That's where Big Daddy came from. Here's what this was a mold reuse of, just so you know, as a random flake of half a feather floats past the camera, apparently. But as you can see, this thing is a vastly oversized kind of killer tractor, I guess. Like, you need a ladder to get up to it, and that's how tiny the cockpit is, or cab. Technically, it's a tractor. That'd be a cab, but either way, it's ridiculously big. As you can tell, and the whole point of the opening, yeah, this thing is Constructicon Putrid Green, which I love. I also do like it's got some brush, painted effects at the front, kind of scrape it up and make it rusty. That is the only spot it's got something like that, so it is mostly just a sea of green. Back here, you have a very bizarrely molded and detailed missile / smokestack. I have no idea what's going on with this missile, but there it is. It's gray. The gun itself was pretty cool. They did paint it and mold the trigger like exhaust stacks, which is that's pretty neat. He does tend to look better if you don't load the missile in. And this being a Cybertron figure, it does have a Cyber Key gimmick. But this one acts a little weird. It's not a, plug in the key and auto-deploy thing. But it's actually more of a Decepticon-style attack mode. So I'm going to double-check if this thing's original mold was actually a Decepticon. But what you're going to do is come to the back and fold up the two back wheels. And there's two rubber wheels in the back here, which lets you spin, unfortunately the easiest way to do it is spin this wheel right here, and that'll spin both of these, big wheels. Sorry, words are currently escaping. And then what you do with your planet key, which is literally the most generic planet key it could be. It's even more generic than the one that came with Big Daddy. That one at least had a molded, emblem on the top. This one's just printed on. But you're just going to put the key in the wheel and turn, and that will deploy a whole bunch of spikes, or little blades. And I still have the dropsies. Awesome. Anyone wondering, I'm filming this right after 4th of July weekend. It has been a very long weekend. I am incredibly tired, and yeah, I am also incredibly unable to hold on to things. But there you go. It pops out, a whole bunch of little blades. So once you've got everything in place, you can spin the wheel, and that spins the blades. Sadly, that is the only way that this works. There's not any kind of, roll them along and have them go. You don't get anything like that. You have to just reach in here, spin the wheel. So, go ahead, put these things back in, which you do have to do by using the key. They don't, apparently I didn't have it open all the way. But And worth mentioning, there are tiny wheels right here, so that when you've got him in this mode, he does still have 4 wheels on the ground. But, so there's that. This is basically useless in robot mode, except for, you know, put some spikes on his back. And speaking of robot mode, I'm going to actually get to robot mode already. So, pop off the gun, just leave those wheels up, you need them up for transformation. Come to the front here, bring up the bucket, get out of your way, come underneath here, straighten out his legs, and open up his feet down here. Grab the side wheels here, rotate them down, and they are on, it's some kind of ratchet, but yeah, you can hear they lock into place really loud. So unlike a lot of figures I've seen that have, you know, wheels on the side here that just constantly are turning and getting in the way, these ones stay in place. I do appreciate that. But do that, split the legs, fold down the backpack, come up here, split the bucket, fold these pieces out to the side. Then you're going to do that. I lack words and phrases, but you're going to do that with your bucket halves, and that will also expose his hands. Then finally, you're just going to pull these 2 pieces down, and then you can either leave these little smokestacks down to be guns, or fold them up and give him kind of cool shoulder pads. And there you've got Grindcore in robot mode. And this is a really, really neat looking mold, actually. I do really like this thing. Bring him up close here so you can see. Very stern face, almost like a molded beard going on, and, you know, great big unibrow for his head crest. No, he's not light piped, but they did use one of those, like, magical colors of paint for the eyes that almost, like, it reflects enough light that it almost fakes you out in the right lighting situation, which is a bonus in my eyes. It looks really cool. Posability-wise, head can rotate all the way around quite stiffly on mine. Shoulders can spin all the way around. They are a ball joint, so they have a little bit of forward and back as well. And a little up and down, not much. He's got outward joint right there. Ball joint for the elbow, so you get tiny bit past 90 degrees. We're talking like 91 degrees. As well as you get a full rotation. If you want, you can kind of shift the hand back, you know, untransform it slightly. No waist rotation, but he can kick forward that far. He can kick back that far. He can only kick out about that far, though he can do the splits if you put his foot forward. And as you can see, his hip is on a ball joint. 90-degree bend at the knee, and, you know, can fold his feet back up, or the heel half. So, yeah, you get a lot of posability out of this guy. So, oh, and obviously, you know, take the weird missile gun thing. Nope, that doesn't make it look any better. Do that, give it to him. He's got a big blaster now, like any good Autobot should. And yeah, you know, it's a weird figure, but I like it. It's got fairly solid posability. It's really, really hefty and solid. And, you know, I wish there was a way that this did something in this mode. These do just hang out back here. You can deploy them, but all that does is put a few spikes on his back. So that part is a letdown. Everything else about this figure, though, is really cool, you know? If you can, maybe do a little bit of dry brush or something. Make him not quite so overbearingly green when you get him. I am a little tempted to literally just take like some brown and silver and just scuff and mud him up like the bucket is. But yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. So if you see it, you know, why not? I mean, he's got the best name ever. He's named Grindcore. Okay, that's got to count for something. So, on that note, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.